What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. What a crazy week. I mean, we moved like 2022. No, it was absolutely slow and it was super annoying. But check this out. Look at the 10-year. This is nuts. Look at the day MACD on the 10-year. I've never seen it this low since 2020. Like I don't even think there's been that low before since probably years before that. But let's go over the charts and let's dig into it, and let's get into this absolutely boring and slow market. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't subbed to the channel, we are picking a lucky subscriber at the end of the month for $1,000. I will post it on probably the January 1st of the video. If you want, sub to the channel, you can win $1,000 by just clicking the button. And by the way, we do have a Discord, 2,500 people. We are like a family. If you want to come in, the link is in the description or in the comments of the video. But guys, look at this. This is insane. The day MACD on the 10-year, I have not seen it that low since the 2020 year. That is absolutely mind blowing right now. Now here's the thing, guys. I don't see this just rocketing up and pushing the market down like to a crazy new low or anything. But if this comes up to here, that will absolutely push these tech companies out of these small, or not really small, but these channels right here. This will break and this will go lower and probably test something like 250 on this smaller. This channel will eventually break. That's what I'm saying. But let's go over the charts a little bit and let's dig into it. Now, this week has been absolutely insane, mostly due to it not doing nothing. It was, it was just, I don't even want to, I can't even say it on YouTube right now. But we are in the small channel right here. We've been going on since the 13th, and it just, I'm ready for it to break. Now, if we do break this support right here around 409, then you will test the lower levels around 402. And then if you break 402, you will come down to the lower levels of probably 375. And what is that going to do to the other indexes, right? Well, if you don't know, all the indexes follow each other. So if this does drop to support of around 375, that will be the same thing as SPY dropping down to around probably around 445. And then on the Dow, if this rejects, this is absolutely going to help push the market down even lower. Not lower past support, but you get the picture. Now if this does, say if the triple Qs does go down to around 375, you will probably come down to the low levels around 33,700, 600. The Russell too. The Russell is in the smaller channel. I'll back out so you can see the bigger channel. But we do have a support around 1988. Now, the Russell is in this big channel. It is doing a false breakout. I guarantee it, because the Russell does have super common false breakouts. It is just very common with the Russell, mostly due to it's just aggressive like that. Now, if we do get a break out of that 1900, you do have a support of around 1693. Now, that does not mean we're going straight down to 1693. The Russell and the Dow and all the other companies, say even in the triple Qs, when these tech companies find support, that's when you're going to find support in these indexes. So make sure you're following along. If you haven't subbed to the channel, and by the way, if you've been a subscriber for a while or just want to help me out, like the video. That helps me out a ton. But just throwing that out there. Now we are coming up to the day time frame. Well, we are at the day time frame on the day channel. We are coming up to resistance. If we do get a rejection, we are looking at around a 77, which is pretty much the same thing as 375 in the triple Qs. But what about tech, right? Let's go to tech. Now, here's the thing, guys. Apple is the only one at support. And what does that mean, right? So what does that mean that Apple is the only one at support? Well, I know there's a bunch of new traders out there, and they don't understand market movement, and I get it. I get hateful comments in my videos all the time. But guys, listen. Apple is at support. So if Apple's at support, and if these tech companies that are at resistance, if they start to reject, say if even Meta drops to this low right here, that's enough pressure to break Apple. And if Apple breaks and drops to support, that's going to draw the other companies to push to their supports. So make sure you're following Apple this week, next week, and then even mid-January. This is a super important level for Apple, and it's going to break, and it's going to come, it's going to break when these other tech companies reject. And honestly, I wish I could punch Apple in the face right now. I don't want to get into it, but yeah, I'm tired of Apple. But yeah, just remember, guys, just follow Apple. Now, if this does break, you do have a support of around 170. It is barely hanging on both of these channel supports of around 193. If that breaks and holds, then you're going to see a drop in Apple. And if that drops, what is that going to do? That's going to push a lot of these tech companies off of resistance. Now, there was a comment on my video about, oh, well, your Meta channel was lower. I think it was like right there. Yes. Now, my Meta channel was lower on the resistance. But guys, you have to remember that these channels, they form over time. Like if we were like, say if we were like, I don't know, let's say if we were right here, right? Like the channel wasn't made right here. Yeah, this channel is going to look different, but the longer that the channel is, the more accurate it's going to be. So just remember, guys, like say if we do drop and you're drawing your channels or something, just remember that it takes a while to fill out a channel. So a lot of highs and a lot of supports are going to change over time. But we are facing resistance on Apple. If this does reject, it does have a smaller channel here. Let me actually pull it up. We are on support on it. It's just holding on by the skin of its teeth. Now, if we do break around 365, you will start seeing it drop, and hopefully drop quick, because a lot of these tech companies are at resistance. And if you don't know what I mean, let me show you. So here's NVDA. NVDA is at resistance also. It's in the smaller time channel. You do have a support around 482. If you break that, then probably 472. But if it breaks 472, watch out. That's going to absolutely push Meta to 310 easily, and probably 370 in Apple and all that good stuff. Now, if Apple starts to drop really hard, that's enough pressure to push NVDA down to the lower levels of around 410, stuff like that. And you know, NVDA, I think it's actually next to break its 1 year channel. So let me pull that up. So this channel is going to eventually break. It's just been trading sideways. It's running into support. But here's the thing, guys. You know, I talk about it in my previous videos about the triple Qs going to like 270, and that's going to happen. But it's going to happen when these tech companies, you know, rotate. So, you know, here, let me show you Apple, right? So Apple is probably one of the cleanest. So like right here, so this was the 2022 bear market. This was the 2023 bull rally. And now we're coming into another rotation from this high, and we're going to probably go back to support. That's a 270, 280 in the triple Qs. That's not a recession. That's not, you know, anything crazy. That's just a rotation in market. So the people that are like, oh, that's never going to happen, or that's going to take a recession or a black swan event, or FX said no, or, you know, guys, it's just simple rotation. It's not that hard to understand. So just remember, guys, you know, we're going to come into a rotation in the market eventually again, and we will come down and test support. We will probably trade sideways for a couple years more, and that's just how the market works. It's super common. I talked about it in one of my other videos. If you want to go back, it's like I think the 290 or 270 in the triple Qs or something like that. Posted about a week ago or something like that. So just throwing that out there, you know. With Tesla, we did call the top on Tesla, so great job if you were in the Discord and you caught that. We did call it around 260. We're getting a rejection. Now, we do have a smaller support around 248. If that breaks, then you will come down and test 180. Now, if we do drop to 270 in Tesla, or sorry, if we drop like 270 or something in, you know, the triple Qs, Tesla will go down to the 60s. That's just market movement. If you don't understand, here's the 2022 bear market. Here's the 2023 bull market. Here's the rotation that's coming up. It's not that hard. So the people that come in my comments and try to troll me, I don't care. You're a person. I get it all the time. So don't waste your time coming into my sorry. But yeah, I had a text, but yeah, just throwing that out there. Tesla does have a support around 190. With Meta, I think I did talk about Meta. We do have a support around 315, or 310, like that. So just throwing that out there too. With NVDA, I think yeah, we talked about that. Apple, we talked about it. Google. So Google is at resistance right now. So if you're looking for opportunity, it's still in its 1-year channel. Eventually it will break, and the drop in the market around 270 will come when these 1-year channel breaks. But Google's still in it, so we do have a support of around 135. If that breaks, then 129. But just remember, guys, a lot of these companies are at resistance. So if those start to reject, that's going to push Apple. Now with NVDA is at resistance also. We do have it into 2 channels. So we do have a support of around 146. If that breaks, then you will test around 136. If that breaks, then 131. And if that breaks, watch out, that rotation to 270, 280 in the triple Qs will come. With the VIX, I'm not going to be like a Ron and draw a wedge. I'm going to show you the channel that I have on the smaller time frame. Now on the smaller time frame, VIX is having a resistance around 1351. If that breaks, then that's probably going to start pushing it very hard. So watch that level. With DXY, we are on support on DXY. Let me back out so you can see it. I'll probably go to the 4-hour chart. So on the 4-hour chart, DXY is on support, so be very careful. I'm pretty sure this is going to start pumping very soon. We do have a resistance around 103.25. If that breaks, then 108 is your next stop. With TLT, I say it every video. If you want to go look in the past, you can, yeah. Well, I'll just explain now. It follows market. Here's the market. Here's overlap. There you go. Now TLT is at resistance right now. This is going to drop when the indexes drop. So if you are in TLT and one of those comments in my video saying, oh, well, you said we would drop after Christmas. I never said we would drop after Christmas on the 26th. I said after Christmas, not the 26th. So just remember, guys, this is waiting on the market to drop. So just throwing that out there. Now with HYG, we are at resistance also. It's doing a false breakout. Actually, let me update the channel. Yeah, it kind of got a little bit bigger. It's updating. Let me delete this one. I don't know how to double lap. Now, it is above, so if it breaks below 77, then watch out. That's probably going to start, free falling. It does free fall pretty hard. We do have a support of around 72. With Bitcoin, Bitcoin is at resistance, at support on this smaller channel. If that breaks, then your next level is going to be around 31, and that's really going to come down to when the other tech companies reject and the indexes reject, because they follow the indexes. Now, there is one thing I do want to talk about. If you've been following the channel and you caught this rally, good job. I am super proud of you. I told you a couple weeks ago that MAR was at $9. I said this thing is going to pump over $20. We are at $30. So if you've been following the channel, great job. I'm super proud of you. This is what this channel is for. I told you this was going to catch up to Bitcoin. When Bitcoin had that huge rally, I said MAR is going to pump like crazy. And that's exactly what it did. So just throwing that out there too, just pay attention. I think this is a good level to get out of, not financial advice. Do not hold this any longer. If you are in MAR and you caught it at 9, yeah, I can't say it on YouTube, but yeah. One other thing, 9, called it at $2. It did hit 3. It is at 281. I do see a lot more room going up, mostly due to crude oil. Crude oil will start pumping very soon when the markets start to drop. If you don't know, it's inverse. I'll show you in a second. But I do see a good probably 9 hitting around $7. Mostly due to it probably oil pumping to $100, and I'll show you in a second why. If oil does pump to $100, you will probably come up to around $4.50 to probably $6. So not financial advice. With crude oil though, crude oil is just consolidating, mostly waiting on the market. Now if the market drops, this is the same length as around 375 in the triple Qs. So this much room, that's probably the same length as in the 375 in the triple Qs. If you get that much pump, 9 will absolutely explode. But crude oil is just waiting for the market to move. So if you are in that, that's your golden ticket for it to drop. But yeah, it's been a boring week, and I am ready for some movement. There is one more thing I do want to talk about before we get off of here. Where was it? Oh, check out this, guys. So look at this. I actually was just kind of bored today, and I was looking around. Look at the day MACD on a lot of these tech companies. So just, throwing that out there. Apple is wide open, already dropping, so that's probably going to be the first one to drop. Now there is a couple others that are, you know, down too. Microsoft is probably hanging on by the skin of its teeth. I do see it dropping down to around, you know, 345 very soon. But a lot of these other companies, they're still in the green zone. They're coming in for a cross. Buying pressure is dying. You know, they're getting weaker. You know, just be very aware that, you know, a lot of buyers are getting out. It's coming in for, you know, a time where there's probably going to be a rotation in the market, and it's not probably going to be up. So just throwing that out there. Yeah, I'm just ready for something to happen in the market. It's been very slow. So I took a couple of days off, but I just want to end this video like every other video. Please don't drink and drive, guys. I've lost so many friends and family. But thanks, guys. Have a wonderful weekend and be safe.
Testing. 1 million, 2 million, 3, okay. Testing. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. That's working. Okay. Testing. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million.